When I was a little girl, I used to have all types of deities and entities come to me. I would tell my mom about it, and she thought I was possessed. She literally said, "Make them go away." I didn't understand anything. I was very confused. I still had one foot in one realm and another foot in this earthly realm. But what I came to really realize was that whatever was going on within me and my quote, quote, spiritual abilities was dangerous. So I shut it all down. So today I want to share with you one of the biggest lessons that I've learned in having spiritual abilities and really what it looks like to be human in the realm of this. If you want to learn more and tap into the guru within, you definitely want to listen to this podcast. Welcome to the Dr. Erin podcast. This is a top spiritual psychology coach podcast to inspire and teach you how to transform your trauma, birth your soul's purpose, and manifest your dreams. Hi, I'm Dr. Erin, Doctor of Divinity. I'm committed to bringing you the best coaching tips, spiritual advice, trauma healing, and metaphysical recovery secrets. I'm here to help you monetize your spiritual gifts and love your life. I want you to know that I've been exactly where you are, and I believe in you. Together, we're awakening the world. Hi, my soul family. I'm super excited to dive deep with you today about a prophetic conversation about spiritual initiation and really becoming the guru. So years back after, I shut everything down as a little girl, my mom thought I was completely possessed as a little girl, having a lot of abilities and being able to read things like auras and being able to really understand what was going on with each adult, but never being acknowledged for it. I began to shut down all of my abilities and become totally human. I began to turn back on my abilities over time, but it's taken a long time to really understand how to navigate this human world. And so today I want to break on down a very important, almost prophetic conversation for myself and for the world right now, which is we're going through a massive spiritual initiation, really developing each and every one of us as the guru that we are. So I want to take you back some time, back when I began my spiritual journey again in my 20s and early 30s. I was, diving into spirituality, taking courses, meditating, and kind of looking to the world of what is this thing called spirituality. And what I used to think was, wow, it's all positive. It's the power of mind. And one day I'm going to get to a destination where it's only high vibes and everything is heaven on earth. And I have all my spiritual abilities and I'm back to some rainbows and butterflies. I really, really thought that. And I remember many years feeling really high on life. Yes, I'd have some hard days here and there, but overall I'd be quote, quote, manifesting and getting in a high vibe and manifesting a bunch more material things. And it's kind of interesting because if you think about it, is that the blessing or is that the curse, right? So as time went on, actually, the manifesting got harder and harder because I realized, wow, none of this stuff is actually fulfilling me. And something's missing here. Even when I have everything that I want, or even when I'm having quote, quote, some success in my business or with friends, or I'm traveling or doing whatever it is that would be considered successful, something was missing. And so today I want to talk to you about what we're really going through, which is a spiritual initiation. Of course, all of life is really just a construct to experience the depths of our soul and form, being able to use universal law of cause and effect to be able to create with consciousness upon universal law for demonstrations and manifestation. So you would think that the goal would be able to manifest, quote, quote, greater and greater experiences. But what we consider good experiences are not necessarily what is a profound experience to awaken. If the goal is to awaken versus the goal is to get a bunch of things and experiences, it changes the entire dynamic of the game. I'm going to say that one more time. If the goal of demonstrating and manifesting is actually awakening to the divine power within and understanding that we are one with everything and all of it, it changes the game dramatically from wanting to manifest and demonstrate a bunch of things, material things, or just particular experiences, only the good experiences, not the bad experiences, put it that way. It changes the game. So let's just get this straight, okay? Back in the day when I began to do my spiritual work, I had gone to sleep through my early adolescence and through my teens. And when I began to seek truth again and seek my spiritual nature, again, I really thought that it was going to be high vibes only, rainbows, butterflies, unicorns, if you will, right? Law of attraction, manifesting a bunch of things, material things, jets, good clothes, good friends, only good times, fabulous experiences. Well, today I want to just say that we're going through a great initiation, and the initiation is always a reset. It's a reset to bring us back to the truth of who we are. So over the pandemic and over all this, values shift because when things are taken away, your freedoms are taken away, your ability to just go and see friends and family are taken away, your liberations are taken away. What happens in the human psyche is that we begin to question our value systems. Does all this material things matter if we can't actually enjoy them with people that we love? Does all this matter if status can go away? Right? What really matters? And that's where we're going through this initiation right now. So back in the day also, when I began to seek spiritual work, there were spiritual teachers. Someone would call it spiritual teacher. Another person might call it a guru, right? Someone that is a mentor, a guide, whatever that is. And over time, you begin to realize that the more you hand your power over to anyone, anything, you become disempowered. So the goal for any spiritual teacher or guru is to teach the student how they are their own guru. Guru stands for gu and ru. Gu means darkness, and ru means remover. Becoming the guru is being able to transmute the dark into the light. And so as we're being initiated, we're initiated in our mastery of being able to transcend and transform the dark into the light. So if we actually are here to manifest and demonstrate our divine abilities, then the dark is going to get darker so that we build our abilities to transcend it into the light. And so the truth is that you can only have as much light as you're able to have as much dark. And so I recognize this within myself and my students all the time when we're doing deep trauma work, when we're doing deep transformation, past life regressions, and things like that. The end phenomenon with all of it is recognizing that we're all of it. So if there's a place in life where you're judging people, places, or things, country, politicians, whatever it is, then we haven't learned that we are that. We have been here in all lifetimes. We have been the perpetrator. We've been the victim. We have murdered and we have been murdered. And we have to be fully with it in order to actually be able to have it, to be able to transcend it. So what we're doing here in this initiation is basically whatever it is that could be the hardest thing for you to go through, wherever it is that you're clinging on to in this life, is what is going to be your initiation. So when this year came around, 2022, I was like, oh my gosh, 2022, that's my favorite number, 22. It's going to be a fabulous year. It's going to be amazing, right? And 2022 has been one of the hardest years of my life, which also I know has been the greatest blessing of my life. So as you guys know, I moved from Los Angeles over to Florida really just seeking more Mother Nature, wanting to get out of Los Angeles just for stuck patterns. And just, it was pretty intense over the pandemic and a lot of politics and things. And I just wanted to experience something new. So I came over to Florida because I love tropical weather. I love the turquoise water. I love the palm trees. And I've had some of the most amazing, beautiful moments over here ever. And it's been some of the hardest times as well, because my son and my entire lineage, all my childhood friends, high school friends, peers, all are on the West Coast of the United States. So it's been one of the hardest times, because one of my biggest kind of stories in this lifetime is I'm alone. And so it has been glaring me in the face this year, even though, of course, I have a huge online, community. I do have friends over here as well, but it's been really, really pulled up that part within my psyche. And so in this, I've had to do a lot of deep diving into being okay with being alone. You'll see the difference. The difference is not, let me just try and figure out and rearrange the whole world over here and get a big community and solve it all that way. That's not a guru's standpoint. That could be good as well. But it is really being with the energetics of the non-resistance to it, where it transcends. And so as I began to really dive into that emotion, knowing that it's not just me, that loneliness is not just my one little mini mind emotion. When we are dealt an emotion, when we're dealt with a limited belief, when we're dealt with something, we have to transcend it for the collective. And so I began to go into deep feeling, being okay with that feeling and feeling it for the collective. And feeling it for the collective and knowing, what is this initiation? What is this initiation? This is for each and every one of us to feel the fear, okay? If you fear money, for example, then you need to, not need to, but I am initiating you. I am inviting you into fully feeling that. Where is that coming from? And what is that lesson and blessing in that, right? If you have a fear of not being loved, then my invitation is for you to fully feel and be with that emotion. Oftentimes we try and transform and transmute an emotion as fast as possible without fully feeling and getting all the wisdom out of the actual emotion. Oftentimes we're like, oh, that's low vibes, and let's only go to positive. Positivity can be very dangerous. There's a big difference between positivity and transcending emotions. There's a very big difference between fully feeling the low vibes instead of when we just really just resist it and push vibes away. Being okay with all of the dark is the way. The old school teaches us that there's only the sage or the spiritual teacher or something out there that should have all the wisdom. The initiation is to recognize that you are the guru, that you are the only thing that can transcend your emotions, that you are the remover of obstacles, that there's only you that can remove it. But the only way to fully remove something is to be able to fully have it. And in this, I know that there's a great spiritual initiation right now. Whatever it is that you need to go through, your greatest fear, your greatest resistance is coming up for you right now. And so now I look at it very differently. I used to think that everything should just be positive, that there should be a destination of a glorious life, right? But now I look at it different. Now it is a path, an ongoing masterclass. And just when you feel like you've overcome your initiation and you finally are in flow and you're in light, guess what? Another boulder comes along, another dark entity, another person, another circumstance, another whatever. And it's going to demand you to dig so incredibly deep. So this next week, I'm very excited because one of my dear friends is coming to visit. And he has gone through a chapter that was one of the hardest chapters of his life. He actually I've talked about him a couple of times. He had a beautiful company on green technology, and it was one of a very, very challenging business. And he had investors and he had to do all this work. And he was sued by his partners and basically stated by a few investors that he stole money or that he moved money around and did illegal things. So the FBI came in and removed him from the company, and he was sued by United States of America and taken to court by the FBI and by different investors. So it was an 8.5-year trial, and he had 11 counts basically. And guess what? He won every single one of them. And when he walked away the day of his court hearing of all 11, he was looking at, I think, 11 years in prison, and he walked free. He walked completely free, and he was able to basically prove to the world that he was not lying, that he had done everything ethically. And as he walked away from that, of course, how much money did that cost him? How much time? And he had a choice, right? He could either be bitter for the rest of his life and basically be the victim of life, or he could decide to win. He could decide to have the blessing of that hard, dark time and transcend it into light. And today he absolutely is having total success spiritually, financially, and in all areas of his life. And it's a choice. It's a choice because life keeps happening. Dark things keep happening. Hard times will keep happening. People will still be people. There's always going to be terrible things that happen on this planet. Always. But the choice is yours, and the choice is mine, right? Every single day we get a choice to either get stuck and be the effect of the darkness in our life, or we get the choice to transcend it, learn from it, grow from it, and create something new. And so in this divine moment, I'm knowing who you are. You are the guru. Every single day is a masterclass. We're not here to come to our heaven on earth. We're in a relative universe. We will always have the dark and the light. This is how we created this universe to be. It is never only going to be easy. It's always going to demand us to transform the dark into the light. And the extent to which you are able to fully have the dark, you will be able to also have that much light. You cannot only have light without the darkness. It is impossible. And so in this, let's take a deep breath together. Exhaling out. I recognize that you are the one you've been waiting for. I recognize that you are the guru. You are that removes and transcends and initiates your own self through this mental world. I recognize that you have all the ability, all the know-how. You are the divine. You are that essence. You are omnipotent. You are almighty. And in this, I know no matter what life brings to you, you always have choice. You have infinite ways of transmuting that. You have infinite ways of transcending it. You have infinite ways of transforming with the power of thought. And so I just say yes to you becoming the guru, initiating yourself, and remembering that you are the power. As together we say, and so it is. Thank you for tuning into the Dr. Erin podcast. If you're ready to reprogram your subconscious mind, transform your trauma and birth your soul's calling, or if you're ready to become an accredited certified spiritual psychology coach and E4 trauma method facilitator and get trained in spiritual psychology, universal law, intergenerational trauma work, past life regression work, metaphysics of mind, and so much more, go to soulciety.com or drerin.tv. If you're receiving value from the show, I would love it if you share it with a friend and give it a 5-star review. Also, you can join me in one of my live free trainings. You can find it right on the website as well, or in my bio link across all social media. I'm drerin.tv across all platforms. DRERIN.tv. Have a beautiful day, and may you live your truth.